Blessed Horizon Soul Family. Greetings to you all and happy new week to everyone. I trust you all and in good spirits. So, I literally just woke up from sleep. I just woke up right now. And I woke up from a bit of a disturbing dream. And I was trying to place the dream after I woke up and I prayed. I was trying to place the dream to see what's the main meaning or message behind it was. It's like I'm actually still laying in bed. I haven't even gotten out of bed since I woke up. And as I was thinking through it, I started to receive the download behind the message. But I was trying to figure out where it was coming from, the energy or the deed being done. And then I heard in my head Coven. As soon as Coven came into my head, my phone just went ding. That was confirmation for me that this was going to be a message for the collective. Now, this message I feel is going to be short, but basically it is to say that this Coven is watching you, studying you, taking information about you, and trying to figure out how to break down your protective barrier. 133 on the timer. Trying to figure out how to break down your shield, your protective shield. And I feel like this is being done in a way where it's like they're studying you and taking information from you yourself. Because it's like they're trying to find loopholes in your protection. They're trying to find loopholes in your fortification. So last night I did a live. And in the live, I spoke about there was one particular live that was speaking on a collective that is needing to leave certain relationships and toxic relationships because these people are snakes in their energy in order for the abundance to come to them. My ears are very itchy right now. And in the live, I made mention of how I don't have sex and I conserve my sexual energy because it's very important, and I just don't. And the only time where I'm doing any sexual activity is with myself through sex magic, and that's for manifestation purposes, not pleasure. And however, this week also I had to mention that in a conversation with some people. I had to mention that, right? And so I didn't even think about that when I was doing the reading, but as I had this dream and the download afterwards this morning, it's like everything is clicking to me. And in the dream I had this morning, it was like a group of people, right? And it was I don't know if it was some kind of hotel rooms, or it just seemed like these guest rooms, right? And there were different ladies in the different guest rooms and different guys, but it was two guys in one room with either multiple ladies or one lady. I don't know how it was good, but something like that, right? And in the space where I was in, the two guys were actually people that felt familiar. It's almost like one of them felt like someone I knew, but the other one felt like somebody maybe someone I had seen before, or it felt like somebody the person I knew already, right? And in the beginning, it felt like it was all just just a chilled vibe, just people conversing. But then the next thing I knew, it's it was just me with the two of them in the room, and they were trying to come at me, trying to force me into sexual activities, trying to. And then it's almost like in that instant, it's like my spirit came to the awareness that, wait, hold on, this is a dream, and why am I even in this space in the first place? Then I started to become aware of my surroundings, wait, why am I here? What am I doing here? I don't want to be here. I shouldn't be here. What am I doing here? It's all of a sudden, it's my spirit came to this realization of it's almost like it wasn't a dream state for me anymore. It became very real when the real energy started to unfold, when what was really happening in the dream started to unfold. And I became very defensive. And I started to like speak out very loudly, like, what do you think you're doing? Like I started to speak out at them. It's like, don't touch me. What do you think you're doing? Do you think you can take my sexual energy? And I became so furious. And it's like, it's like I had this like, from nowhere I had this like glass cylinder thing in my hand, like a cylinder thing in my hand, but like a glass. And I started to like kind of like swing it, right? But somehow it's like they were scared of whatever the cylinder thing was. It's like they were being careful not to get touched by it, or not for me to touch them with it or hit them with it, right? And how it started, it was like, before I came to that realization, it's like how they were acting, it was as if they were so sure that they had me hypnotized. Thank you, Spirit. That's the word I was trying to find. Hypnotized. Just like with some of the other women in the space, it felt like they were doing things, but maybe they weren't very aware of themselves. It was like there was some kind of like hypnotic thing going on. There was something going on that was like clouding their judgment or causing them to do these things. Like my ear is very, very itchy. It's been very itchy since I woke up. Right. So, and it's like one of the guys, it was almost like he was like commanding me to do his bidding, right? And it was like they were so sure that I was going to do it, because it was almost as if like it was like they had done something and they were sure that, oh yeah, I was under their control. So eventually, as I started to shout out, and I was like, are you mad? Like, what are you trying to have me do? You can't take my sexual energy. You cannot touch me. You are not allowed to touch me. Something like that. And then somehow my voice started to go lower and lower. It's like somehow it's like what I was saying out was being hushed. It's like my voice started almost like they were trying to silence me, right? They were just looking at me, but it's like they were trying to silence me. And another thing that so with this silencing, it's like what's coming through is like, for somebody, I'm getting heavy, like I'm getting sexual abuse, but like not physically, almost like spiritual sexual abuse. It's like somebody may have gone through a series of sexual abuses in the spiritual realm, where somebody like has taken advantage of you in the spiritual. This is not just a spiritual thing. This is something that is expressing from a physical space also. It's almost like these are like people in the physical who are basically like projecting themselves into your spiritual energy to do this. And with this energy of this coven trying to break down your defenses, or like your protective barrier, this could be a coven of somebody that you know, or this could be like a coven that somebody belonged to before, or somebody was a part of. This could even be a case where you are a masculine, and certain females in the coven are being put up to do this with you in the spiritual, right? But this is happening as if it's just a dream, but it is far from just a dream. It is far from just a dream. It's like whoever this coven is, they are watching and studying and listening. And it's like they're trying to use the information that you are giving on yourself to find loopholes in your energy. So just like how this week and just yesterday, me speaking on the my sexual energy and how I keep my sexual energy on lock, right? And how I don't have sex because I believe basically what I believe, and is part of how I conserve my energy. Somehow it's like these people are picked up on this, like, if this is how I conserve my energy, then this is one of the ways that I keep myself fortified. And so to be able to break that barrier in the spirit would weaken me, or would help them to siphon some kind of energy from me. But what I was getting really was just like this energy of trying to weaken me, right? Because with the other women also, it's like they looked like they were worn out. They looked like they were weak, right? It looked like energy had been sucked out of them or taken out of them, right? So whatever thing, whatever this coven is doing, or whoever this coven is, it's definitely a dark coven. And they're doing this kind of like, I don't know if to say astral projecting into the dream state of others, to like to penetrate into their energy through the loopholes that they have discovered for themselves. I don't know how to explain this. But this is just some weird thing going on with a coven that is like trying to break down people's shields or barrier. And this is not just everybody. They're doing this to specific people. But I feel like with mine, it's almost like it felt very targeted. Very targeted. And with the trying to hash me, it's almost like trying to silence me when I came to the realization, like when they realized that I wasn't under the hypnosis, like I hadn't been hypnotized and I was very much aware in the dream, they started to like try to silence me. So another thing also is how the way in which they're doing it, right? Before I went to bed, I was listening to something to do with thought, right? Tahuti. And it had to do with the halls of a mentee, right? Now, the halls of a mentee, or the knowledge behind the halls of a mentee, is something very ancient and old, and also very, very deep esoteric knowledge. So, the reason why, the fact that I was remembering this as I was remembering the dream, is what brought everything together of how this coven has very high knowledge. So, whoever this coven is, they could be very well learned and like very knowledgeable in esoteric wisdom and cult knowledge. And this would explain how they are even able to do this, because this is some high level magic. This is some high level like occult magic. This is high level occult magic. Project like basically like astral projected into somebody else's dream to take advantage of them sexually in order to like weaken them, or basically like to find loopholes in their energetic barrier or their protective shield. That is some high level occult magic. So whoever these people are, they are quite knowledgeable. These are not ignorant. I'm just hearing alchemists. These are not ignorant alchemists. These are some. This could even have been done by like the cult leader, because another thing was the person that was like trying to approach me or trying to take advantage of me sexually. It's just like this person had like really long dreadlocks. This person had long dreadlocks, and it was like bundled in a bun. It was like wrapped in a bun, high bun. This person had dreadlocks. So again, this energy of like whoever this cult is, or these leaders of this cult are, they are very knowledgeable in the mystic of the occult, right? And also with how they were trying to hash me when they saw that I had come to the realization. When they were trying to hash me, it wasn't physical like by hand, or it was almost like telepathic, like they were just looking at me and doing something to hash my voice or to lower my voice. So again, this coven is this is a high level coven, or the people of this coven, they are very knowledgeable in what they're doing. These are not ignorant people. These are not ignorant people. So for whoever this message might resonate with, I don't know how, but if it does, stay prayed up. Stay prayed up, and also be mindful of being intoxicated before you go to sleep. Be mindful of being intoxicated before you go to sleep. Make sure you're cleansing your space before you sleep. If you, I don't know, depending on what you do, or just if you are not used to cleansing your space on the regular, please make it a regular thing. Like first things first, I'm cleaning this, I'm smudging my space when I wake up and when I go to bed. Even though sometimes, usually, especially before I go to bed, I get lazy, or kind of like I forget, and then I kind of get into bed before it comes into mind. At least when I wake up, I'm doing these things, or I'm staying prayed up and all those things. You understand? Make sure that your shield is up and that your fortification is, impenetrable. By staying in a high vibration, also staying in a high vibration is one way to make sure that your fortification is always intact. You understand? I feel like this is where I'm going to leave this message. I'm just going to jump out of bed and start the day. But today is Monday. I'm off on Monday, so I won't be doing a lot of work. Even though I'll be working in the house. And stay prayed up. Stay prayed up, especially now. Keep your energies cleansed and highly protected. Highly protected. And please stay away from any coven or any cult like groups that preach divinity but actually practice really dark things. Alright, guys. 144 on the timer. Have a blessed day and have a beautiful, beautiful week ahead.